In OpenKM, we can customize the user interface. This is the standard user interface for OpenKM. On the other hand, if we access the OpenKM Knowledge Center, we can view an example of a custom user interface. This is OpenKM customized to have a different look and feel. The user interface can be customized to have a different background color, style, or even a completely different functionality layout made to meet the requirements of a specific use case. We offer customization services to any interested organization, and if the company wishes, it can also create its own customizations. By default, any organization can customize the system. For example, in the Login tab, you can use your company logo instead of the one from OpenKM. Now, we're going to log into the system. To access the document manager, all users need a username and a password. You can also choose the language of the session. In this instance, we only have two possibilities. However, OpenKM is currently translated into more than 35 languages. You can also add languages manually by filling the translation fields in a simple database. Now that we are logged in, we can see OpenKM's new user interface. The new user interface presents a modern and user-friendly experience. You can also choose the classic user interface. The classic UI can help you become familiar with the system by reproducing the appearance of a typical desktop application. Both can be customized, and you can always switch between them. Now, let's talk about OpenKM's layout. OpenKM is organized into 6 work areas plus the administration area. By default, the first area we see is the browser. This is where users perform most of the documentary activities. Then we have the home area or dashboard. It displays a summarized view of the user's tasks and actions. The third area is the search engine. This tool allows us to search and find any documents stored in OpenKM. We can use multiple filters to find the documents. The fourth area is the task manager. It allows us to manage projects and events that may require collaboration and coordination of several users simultaneously. The fifth area is OpenKM's email module. Here, you can find all the communications that employees exchange with each other, with customers, suppliers, stakeholders, etc. The document manager stores emails in their entirety. It saves the message content and any email attachments. This way, you can carry out e-discovery activities in case of litigation or similar situations. The sixth area is the metadata section. This area provides an improved experience to archivists working with documents based on group properties. In other words, users who use document metadata. Lastly, we have the administration panel. This is the private section of the system designated to the administrator or the technical department. Here, you can set the rules and protocols for using the document management system. We are going to briefly explain how OpenKM works. First, we are going to select the Authentication functionality. This is where the administrator grants users access to the system. Here, you can create user credentials. We can ask if the customer's organization uses Active Directory or LDAP. OpenKM can communicate with other directory service providers to retrieve the user credentials. This way, the OpenKM administrator doesn't have to repopulate the list of users. Now, let's talk about the profiles. Each user has a designated profile. This is the profile section. The profile configuration allows us to adapt the system to the requirements of each user or group of users. To showcase the system functionalities, we can offer a presentation of the document management system guided by a simple example. For example, let's imagine we are working with a company that has a collaboration agreement with the university, which allows the students to log into the company's document management system to carry out the duties required by their internships. The administrator can create a profile for the students. Let's modify the default profile. We can edit the profile by clicking on the edit icon. It looks like a pencil icon. Let's click on Components, tap, and let's deactivate the desktop and dashboard areas. Let's save the changes by clicking on the Edit button. And we're going to refresh the browser. Now, let's log in again, assuming we are a student accessing the document management system. The system is quite different for the students and the document staff. For students, OpenKM is a platform that allows them to carry out basic support tasks. They can search for documents and access their content, but they cannot add or edit documents. It's a simple example, but it illustrates how easy it is to apply different configurations to the same system. Now, let's go back to the profile to activate all the work areas. For the changes made in the administration area to affect the public areas, it is necessary for the administrator to apply the changes outside of office hours or request the users to refresh the browser. Once again, we have access to all the work areas.